Life. We often make quick judgments. We believe our way of thinking is the only correct one, and when someone disagrees with us, we assume they must be wrong. What we forget is that most problems in life do not have just one solution. When we dismiss another person's perspective without understanding it, we block our own growth. Today's story reminds us why listening matters. Once upon a time, in a peaceful town, there lived a young boy named Ryan. Ryan was quiet by nature. He observed more than he spoke and thought deeply before sharing his ideas. He enjoyed going to school, especially science class. However, Ryan had one difficulty. He struggled to speak confidently in front of others. His voice was soft, and his words came slowly. Because of this, many of his classmates believed he was not very intelligent. One day, Ryan's teacher, Mrs. Clark, decided to conduct a simple classroom activity. She placed a transparent bowl filled with water on her desk. Inside the bowl lay a small stone. Turning to the class, she asked, "What do you think will happen if I place another stone into this bowl?" Hands shot up immediately. "The water level will rise," one student said. "Some water might spill out," another answered. Mrs. Clark nodded and then looked toward Ryan. "Ryan, what is your opinion?" Ryan stood up slowly. A few students exchanged amused glances, expecting an incorrect response. After observing the bowl carefully, Ryan said calmly, "It depends, ma'am." A soft laugh spread across the room, but Mrs. Clark raised her hand to silence them. "Depends on what?" she asked. Ryan replied, "It depends on the size of the stone, the shape of the bowl, and how much water is already inside." The room fell completely silent. Mrs. Clark smiled. She picked up a very small stone and dropped it into the bowl. The water level rose slightly, but nothing spilled. Then she placed a larger stone into the bowl, and this time water overflowed onto the table. Turning back to the class, she said, "Ryan is correct. Not every question has a single fixed answer. Sometimes the right answer depends on the situation." The students who had laughed earlier lowered their heads, realizing their mistake. At the end of the class, Mrs. Clark addressed everyone once more. "Never judge someone by how fast they speak or how confidently they present themselves. Intelligence often shows itself in quiet ways." From that day onward, Ryan's classmates listened more carefully when he spoke. They learned that thinking differently does not mean thinking incorrectly. This story reflects a truth we often forget. Life is rarely simple, and different perspectives do not cancel each other out. Before judging someone, take a moment to listen and understand. You may discover a truth you had not considered. Thank you for listening. May this story remind us all to think with patience and respect.